The Bureau of Labor Statistics tracks every dollar retirees spend: housing, transportation, food, health care, personal insurance. Those five categories, according to the most recent 2024 federal data, account for about 80% of the average retiree's annual spending of $61,432. Most retirement videos stop right there. They show you the five categories, they show you the percentages, and they call it a day. But there is a sixth category that the BLS does not officially track. It doesn't appear in any government data table. It doesn't show up in most retirement planning software. And yet, according to a 2025 AARP survey of more than 1,700 parents aged 45 and older, 75% of retirees and near retirees are spending money in this category every single month. That category is your adult children. And before you close this video, stay with me for just a moment, because this is not a conversation about whether you love your kids. Of course you do. This is a conversation about a number most people have never calculated, a number that for many families is quietly doing more damage to retirement security than any stock market drop in the last decade. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that number looks like and what to do about it without damaging your relationship with your kids. Let's start with what the government data actually shows, because you need this baseline to understand why the sixth category hits so hard. According to BLS 2024 consumer expenditure data, the average household, led by someone 65 or older, spends $61,432 per year. That comes out to about $5,119 per month. Here's where that money goes. Housing takes the largest share, $22,193 per year, or 36% of total spending. That includes mortgage or rent, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and repairs. Even retirees who own their home free and clear are paying this. Transportation comes second, $9,538 per year, or about 15.5% of spending. Food is third, $7,940 per year, roughly 12.9% of the total. Healthcare is fourth, $7,799 per year, about 12.7%. And unlike every other category on this list, healthcare tends to grow as you age, not shrink. Personal insurance and pension-related costs round out the top five, about 7%, or roughly $4,300 per year for most retirees. Add those up, you're at about 84% of the average retiree's budget, covered by five categories the government tracks, analysts measure, and financial planners account for. Now here's the problem. If you're spending money on a sixth category, and the data says there's a 75% chance you are, none of that appears in your retirement plan. It's not in the calculator, it's not in the spreadsheet. Your financial advisor probably hasn't asked about it directly, and it doesn't feel like a spending category. It feels like love. That's exactly why it's so dangerous. In February 2024, Savings.com surveyed more than 1,000 parents of adult children across the United States. What they found stopped a lot of financial planners in their tracks. For the first time in their annual research, they found that 50% of parents with adult children are now providing regular monthly financial assistance to their grown kids. Not occasional help, regular, recurring, monthly support. The average amount? Nearly $1,500 per month, or almost $18,000 per year. Let that number sit for a moment. $18,000 per year. That is more than what the average retiree spends on transportation and food combined, according to the BLS 2024 data. And here's the detail that should concern you most. That same Savings.com study found that working parents who support adult children contribute more than twice as much money to their kids each month, $1,500, than they contribute to their own retirement accounts, just $673 per month. The AARP research puts the number slightly lower, at about $7,000 per year, average, across all supporting parents. But even at that figure, $583 per month, you're looking at a spending line that simply doesn't exist in most people's retirement projections. Ameriprise Financial dug into what this money actually goes toward. Here's what parents reported paying for their adult children. 83% said they cover monthly groceries. 65% said they pay for their adult child's cell phone. And 46%, nearly half, said they are paying for their adult child's vacations. Not emergencies, vacations. Now, I want to be clear about something. There is no judgment here. The economy your adult children are navigating is genuinely difficult. Housing costs have surged, entry-level salaries don't go as far as they once did, and the instinct to help your child, when you have the means to do so, is one of the most natural things in the world. But here is what most parents have never sat down and calculated. The true cost of this support isn't just the dollar amount you transfer to your child each month. It's what that dollar would have become had it stayed in your retirement account. Here's a number I want you to keep in mind as we walk through this. If you are between the ages of 60 and 70 right now, and you are sending $500 per month to an adult child, that is $6,000 per year leaving your retirement picture. At a 7% average annual return, a conservative figure, well below the S&P 500's historical average of about 10.7%, $500 per month invested over 10 years becomes approximately $86,000. That's not $86,000 you lost. That is $86,000 that was simply redirected from your future to theirs. Now push that to $1,000 per month, still below the $1,500 average reported in the 2024 Savings.com study. Over 10 years, at the same 7% return, you're looking at approximately $173,000 in foregone retirement wealth. And this is before we account for the compounding effect of reduced Social Security benefits if you're working part-time or early withdrawing from accounts to make ends meet. According to AARP's 2025 survey, 79% of parents currently supporting adult children are worried they won't have enough saved for a comfortable retirement. Only 72% of non-supporting parents feel that same concern. The financial anxiety that comes with supporting adult children is real and measurable. What's also measurable is this. 35% of supporting parents told AARP they feel emotional stress about providing that support. More than half, 53%, acknowledged that it's hurting their own financial situation. They know, and yet most of them continue, because nobody has given them a framework to make a different decision. If you're watching this and feeling uncomfortable, that's actually a good sign. It means you've never looked at this number clearly before, and looking at it clearly is the first step. Here is a 3-part framework for thinking about financial support to adult children, one that respects both your love for them and your need to be financially secure. First, calculate your actual number. Not an estimate, the actual dollar amount you have transferred to your adult child in the last 12 months. Include the cell phone plan, include the insurance, include the occasional grocery run you paid for, include the vacation you covered. Most parents, when they do this for the first time, are shocked. They thought they were spending $300 per month. The real number is often $800 or $1,000. Once you have that number, run it through a retirement calculator. Investor.gov has a free compound interest calculator. Type in your monthly amount, your estimated return, and 10 years. See what that number becomes. That is what you are choosing between. Second, separate one-time help from recurring support. There's a significant difference between helping your son with a car down payment once and paying his cell phone bill every month for 5 years. One-time support for a specific goal, a deposit, a medical bill, a period of job loss, is something many families can absorb without major consequences. It is the unconscious recurring monthly transfer that silently reshapes retirement plans. Ameriprise Financial's research found that 63% of supporting parents are covering ongoing monthly expenses, not emergencies. That distinction matters enormously. If you're in that 63%, the question to ask is this: when does this end? Not whether it ends, when. Third, have the money conversation before you need to. According to a 2024 Wells Fargo survey, Americans are nearly as uncomfortable discussing money with family as they are discussing other deeply personal topics. But the conversation you avoid at 62 may become the crisis you cannot avoid at 75. Here's a simple way to open it. Tell your child, and this is specific language that works, "I want to keep helping you, and I want to make sure I can actually do that long term. So let's sit down and look at what makes sense for both of us." That framing does two things. It removes the accusation, and it invites your child into the problem solving, rather than putting them on the defensive. Now, don't walk away from this video and do nothing. Here's what I want you to do in the next 7 days. Step 1. Go back through your last 3 months of bank statements and credit card statements. Add up every dollar that went to or because of your adult child. Phone plan, insurance, transfers, grocery runs, everything. Get your real monthly number. Step 2. Take that number to the compound interest calculator at investor.gov. Set the time period to 10 years and use a 7% return. See what that amount becomes. Write that number down and put it somewhere you'll see it. Step 3. If that number concerns you, not the amount you're sending, but the future amount you're foregoing, schedule a specific conversation with your child. Not a confrontation, a planning session. Bring your number, ask them to bring theirs. You cannot help your children from a position of financial weakness. That is not love, that is fear. And the best financial gift you can give your child at any age is a parent who is not financially dependent on them at 80. Before you go, I have a real question for you, and I genuinely want to know your answer. Are you currently helping an adult child financially? And if so, have you ever actually calculated the annual total? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. If this opened your eyes to something you hadn't looked at directly before, subscribe. We cover the numbers most retirement channels skip. And if you want to understand how having a pension changes everything in retirement, that video is on screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.